Okay, good morning everybody. You're very welcome to this morning's webinar on auto enrolment. We've already completed a sound check there 5 minutes ago with the people who logged in earlier. So I know that the sound is working okay for everybody. But it is possible probably on your phone device to increase the volume, or if you're using your mic and speakers, you can increase the volume on your speaker. So just let me know if there's any more problems. So these webinars that we're organising are specifically designed for bookkeepers who have payroll clients. BrightPay has run a series of webinars surrounding the whole area of auto enrolment. This is the second one that we've designed specifically for bookkeepers, but we will be running more over the coming months on different areas around auto enrolment. Today's webinar will make it easier for you to help your clients with their auto enrolment obligations and highlight methods to streamline the auto enrolment process. So today Paul Byrne will present this morning's webinar. Paul is the Managing Director here at BrightPay. He is also a Chartered Accountant, having previously spent 20 years running his own practice. So auto enrolment is providing the perfect platform for bookkeepers to offer some real added value to their clients and increase profits. Paul will share with you his fairly unique insight into what auto enrolment will mean for bookkeepers who process payroll for their clients, along with his thoughts on how to capitalise on this new business opportunity. You're more than welcome to type in any questions throughout the duration of the webinar. So on the right hand side you'll have a control panel and there's a little question tab there. So yeah, please type in any questions throughout the webinar, and at the very end we'll have a 5 or a 10-minute Q&A session where we'll go through as many questions as we can. Don't worry if we don't get to your specific question, and we will send a full list of all of the questions along with relevant answers along to everybody after the webinar. Now the good news today is we have a free competition. So the competition is for a BrightPay Bureau 1516 license, and we have not one but two to give away today. The competition is open to everybody who stays for the duration of the webinar. I'll now pass you over to Paul, and Paul will present 5 steps to make a profit from auto enrolment. So enjoy everybody.
Okay, thank you Karen, and hi everyone, and thanks for joining us today. Just a small bit about myself. As Karen has already said, my background is as a practicing accountant. I started my own practice back in the 80s and eventually grew to a 3-partner practice with 10 staff before doing something completely different and moving into software development full-time. While in practice, I provided payroll bureau services for about 30 clients, so I know what it is like in the front line and I have the scars to prove it. Although I am now in software development, I do keep up with what is going on in practice. I know that you guys have had a lot to contend with in recent years, IXBRL, FRS 102, RTI, to name but a few of the challenges. My main message to you today is that although auto enrolment may just seem like another imposition, it is actually something that you should be able to profit from, and something that should not require any investment on your part. So here's the agenda for my slot today, which I hope you will find informative and give you plenty of food for thought. The agenda may have had some minor tweaks since originally advertised, but the overall message is unchanged. When talking, I will often refer to auto enrolment or automatic enrolment simply as AE. Also, if any of you have listened to any previous webinars, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. Unfortunately, it's unavoidable. So you can't argue that the UK's payroll landscape has changed forever. The introduction of AE has brought and is bringing employers kicking and screaming into participating in a pension scheme. According to research conducted by the Pension Regulator, medium-sized employers who have between 50 to 249 employees will continue to reach their staging dates up until March 2015, and small and micro-employers with up to 49 employees will start reaching their staging dates from June 2015. And all of this on top of another recent hardcore change, RTI. And just some definitions here. The large employers are those with 250 or more workers, medium are 50 to 249, small 5 to 49, and micro 1 to 4 workers. So AE is a vast subject, and some areas are highly complex. It would take days, even weeks, to cover the subject properly. At the end of the day, you should not need to have an in-depth knowledge of AE. It is up to your pension provider and payroll software provider to filter out all the noise for you. With AE comes a number of employer responsibilities. Employers must set up a pension scheme with a qualifying pension provider. Next, employers must assess their workforce at their staging date and enroll all eligible job holders, unless they're using postponement. And just a note on this, apparently some employers believe that if they choose to postpone all employees for 3 months at their staging date, then nothing needs to be done in that 3-month period. This is not the case, as all employees must receive a communication within 6 weeks of the staging date relating to the postponement and explaining when they will be enrolled. If this communication is not issued, then the postponement effectively never happened, and enrolment must be completed retrospectively back to the staging date, which will in itself be a nightmare. So that's just one to watch out for. Employers must pass on the necessary communications to all employees, not just those who are automatically enrolled. Within 5 months of the staging date, employers must complete a declaration of compliance to notify the Pensions Regulator that they have complied with AE. There are also a number of ongoing employer responsibilities, such as handling opt-outs and opt-ins, making deductions and contributions, monitoring employees each pay period, and sending a contribution file to the pension provider. What AE actually means for an employer is that from their staging date, or from the deferred date if they're using postponement, all eligible job holders must be automatically enrolled. Eligible job holders are those who are between the age of 22 and state pension age, earn more than £10,000 per year, and work or ordinarily work in the UK. Eligible job holders can opt out after being enrolled. All other employees are either non-eligible job holders or entitled workers, and they can choose to join the workplace pension scheme. So in summary, AE is something that is optional for the employee, but mandatory for the employer. A massive 1.2 million small and micro businesses are set to start staging from June 2015. Bookkeepers are more than aware that the majority of these employers will not have the knowledge or experience to make informed decisions when it comes to their AE obligations. With a vast quantity of information available, employers are fast becoming confused as to what the responsibilities for AE actually are. The regulator handles thousands of queries about AE every month, with the top 3 queries encompassing employer duties, declaration of compliance, and staging dates. For employers, the time that is involved in complying with these new obligations is a great concern. They are extremely anxious that the process of complying with AE will be time-consuming, frustrating, and costly. Research indicates that 78% of small businesses will look to their bookkeeper or payroll advisor for advice and counsel. This represents an opportunity for bookkeepers to add value to their existing services. These clients will require help understanding the implications for them, their employees, and their business. This offers a considerable opportunity to gain new business, retain client base, and increase profits. Bookkeepers should achieve greater fees from existing clients as well as gaining new clients. For those strategic bookkeepers who will offer AE services, they will certainly have the perfect platform to acquire new clients while simultaneously building a long-term sustainable business. Almost all small or medium employers, 97%, and 4/5 of small employers said that they were aware of their staging date, compared with only 1/2 of micro-employers. Micro-employers continue to feel less confident about dealing with the administrative burden of automatic enrolment, and were the most likely to say that they would find it difficult financially to contribute to a pension. Micro-employers were more likely to state that they will use the services of a bookkeeper or a bureau. 1 in 5 micro-employers felt they would be self-reliant. The responsibility for complying with the employer duties rests with the employers. If employers don't comply, they will face enforcement action in line with the Pension Regulator's risk-based approach. The Pension Regulator will investigate breaches of the law in a fair and objective manner. Enforcement action starts with statutory notices and is followed by penalty notices. Further non-compliance may result in court action. A fixed penalty notice would be issued if you don't comply with statutory notices or if there's sufficient evidence of a breach of the law. This is fixed at £400 and payable within a specified period. The Pensions Regulator can also issue an escalating penalty notice for failure to comply with a statutory notice. This penalty has a prescribed daily rate of £50 to £10,000 depending on the number of staff that you have. The Pensions Regulator can also issue a civil penalty for cases where you fail to pay contributions due. This is a financial penalty of up to £5,000 for individuals and up to £50,000 for organisations. Here are some figures of penalties issued by the Pensions Regulator. There has been a total of 2,161 AE cases closed to date. This includes 1,316 compliance notices and 169 fixed penalty notices. The number of compliance notices has increased nearly tenfold in the most recent quarter as smaller employers start to stage. The full breakdown can be found on the Pensions Regulator website. As employers begin to tackle the complexities of AE, many will lack the know-how, experience and resources required to deal with their obligations properly. There's little doubt employers are going to need professional help complying and familiarising themselves with their new responsibilities and legal requirements, and that's where their bookkeeper or bureau can step in. The small business market begins its staging cycle in the middle of 2015. This offers a considerable opportunity to gain new business, retain clients and increase profits. For those strategic bureaus who will offer AE services, they certainly have the perfect platform to acquire new clients while simultaneously building a long-term sustainable business. Bookkeepers need to decide if they are ready to take on AE business. With many shying away from offering this as an extra service, you will need to determine what kind of information and support you will offer to help clients comply with these new AE duties. Payroll advisors will find that a large portion of employers will contact them very close to or even after their staging date. If a client does contact you after a staging date and has done nothing, if their staging date has passed by less than 6 weeks, get them to issue postponement letters to all employees immediately. Otherwise, they will need to backdate AE back to the staging date. Clients will have an expectation that their payroll advisor will present this AE advice in a way that is easy to understand, relevant and actionable. Bookkeepers have a short window of opportunity to position themselves as open for AE business in this ever-increasing cluttered space. The experience and knowledge of a bookkeeper can help employers understand what they need to do to be fully AE compliant. If you are a bookkeeper with payroll clients, there are 5 important things to consider which will improve profits and increase the turnaround of payroll clients. By automating as many of the AE tasks as possible, bookkeepers can reduce overheads per client, increase staff efficiency and increase profits. Ensure your payroll solution has everything to prepare your clients for AE. Check to see if there are any hidden charges when it comes to the number of employees, employers, and the level of support that is provided, and beware of exorbitant hidden costs. The impact of automatic enrolment will affect your client's business now and for the foreseeable future. The Pensions Regulator continues to enforce fines and penalties for non-compliance. Not allowing enough time to plan could lead to your clients being fined. Be proactive by educating and communicating directly with your clients about what is involved for them. You need the correct payroll tools in place to streamline these processes. It is estimated that there are over 30 administrative tasks to perform in relation to AE. Software solutions can automate employer responsibilities, which reduces the time spent on these tasks. With a combined payroll and AE solution in place, bookkeepers can benefit from greater efficiency, increased value added, and improved cost savings. Payroll software that can automate the employer admin tasks, such as employee assessment, personalized communications, ongoing monitoring, handling opt-outs, refunds, mandatory reporting, and pension contribution deductions will be vital. Payroll software can be set up to simplify and automate the majority of these processes, such as monitoring ages, earnings, and deducting pension contributions. If you are a bookkeeper who manages payroll for your clients, check with your software provider when the system will be ready to handle the requirements of automatic enrolment. If it won't be ready, or the functionality isn't going to be made available in time, you may wish to consider an alternative software package that will perform the required tasks. And now for the 30-second plug. BrightPay is an AE solution that will empower bookkeepers to improve profit margins. The software has been designed to take all of the grunt work out of AE. With BrightPay, AE is easy. It makes the AE process effortless and uncomplicated for small business owners and bookkeepers alike. With BrightPay, you can benefit from unlimited employers, unlimited employees, free phone and email support, all for just £199 plus VAT per annum. And you can also benefit from a 60-day free trial, which has no limitations to the software. Okay, so I would now like to hand you over to Vicky for a short talk showing you just how easy AE can be. Vicky is our BrightPay support manager, and in this example, we are assuming that the employer, or you on their behalf, has already registered with a pension provider, in this case Nest. Registering with Nest should really only take about 30 minutes on average to complete. So thank you, Vicky.
Okay, so thanks, Paul there. Good morning, everybody. I just hope everybody can see the software there. Any problems, just let us know. Okay, so just before I focus on how BrightPay handles auto-enrolment, I'll just give you a quick introduction on how easy it is to use BrightPay in general. So once you have your BrightPay installed and your employer file set up, to get started, simply click the Employees tab and you can set up your employee details. So employees can be set up in two ways. Firstly, employee details can be entered manually. So all you do is simply click New Employee and complete each of these sections accordingly. Alternatively, and this is particularly beneficial if you are migrating from another payroll software, employee details and mid-year totals can easily be imported into BrightPay using CSV file format. And to do this, you would simply click on the File heading, Import Export Data, and import employees from a CSV file. Okay, so once employees have been entered, payroll can now be processed. So simply click into Payroll and select an employee from the listing. So BrightPay caters for 4 pay frequencies: weekly, fortnightly, 4-weekly and monthly payroll, and an unlimited number of pay items can be added to an employee's pay slip. So these pay items can be, for example, basic payments, hourly payments or daily payments, as well as additions and deductions. At the same time, we also cater for statutory payments and attachment orders as and when required. In addition, pay items can also be imported into BrightPay using CSV file format if required. Okay. So if I just finalize this pay period for you here. Okay. So as pay slips are finalized, pay slips can then either be printed, and these can be printed to either plain A4 or A5 paper, or they can be printed to pay slip stationery. And they can also be emailed if required, or exported to PDF. And each of the payslip options here will allow the user to customize the payslips to suit their own needs. Okay. As pay periods are finalised, BrightPay will also automatically create your RTI full payment submissions for you, and these can be found in the RTI utility here. So simply select your full payment submission and click Send to HMRC. So moving on to how BrightPay handles the auto-enrolment process. So as soon as your staging date is known, this can be entered in the dedicated pensions utility and in the designated field provided here. So I'm going to assume my employer here has a staging date of the 1st of May 2015. And by entering the date here, this will ensure that your on-screen automatic enrolment alerts will start at the correct time for you. Entering details of your pension scheme is also straightforward and can be entered in advance of your staging date. So again, within this pensions utility, simply click on Add New Scheme and select a pension scheme option from the listing. So currently we offer dedicated support for Aviva, Nest, Now Pensions, the People's Pension, Royal London, Scottish Widows, Standard Life and the Workers' Pension Trust. And you'll see here that we have an other automatic enrolment qualifying scheme to cater for other schemes. Okay, so if we select Nest as an example here, so on the first screen simply enter your employer reference as you have it set up with Nest, and on the following screen there enter your group details exactly how you have them set up with the pension provider. On this same screen here, you will also be given the option to select the contribution rates that apply and also to select the correct earnings basis. If further groups are required, simply click on Add a Group to add more. For example, if you have employees on 2 different sets of pay frequencies, for example. Okay. So once you have your pension scheme set up and you reach your staging date in the payroll, okay, I'll just click in here. So BrightPay will then automatically assess your employees for you and will determine whether they are eligible job holders, non-eligible job holders or entitled workers. You will also see the appearance of these on-screen flags and alerts, and that's simply to notify you that you have now auto-enrolment duties to perform. So if we just take our first employee here, Jemima Appleby, and click on View Options, so we can see here that she is being assessed as an eligible job holder. So we have the option to enroll her, to postpone her, or to mark her as exempt. So in this instance, we will enroll her. So simply click on Enroll, select the scheme you wish to enroll her in and the applicable tax relief, and click Continue. Okay. BrightPay, so once an employee is enrolled, BrightPay will then automatically create your enrolment letter for you. And these letters can either be printed, exported to PDF, or emailed to the employee directly through BrightPay. So if we just do a print preview of Jemima's enrolment letter here, so here we have an extract of her letter, and this will include information on the staging date, what the contribution rates will be, details on how she can opt out, and just general information on what automatic enrolment will mean to her. Okay, so once the employee is in receipt of their enrolment letter, you can simply tell the software that this is done. Okay, so returning to payroll there, if we just take our second employee, Ronan Burton here, so he is being assessed as a non-eligible job holder. So the options available for him is just slightly different. So we have the option to print his letter inviting him to opt in. Then we have the option to opt him in should he choose to do so, and then to postpone him or mark as exempt. Okay. And likewise, we have Simone Pendleton here. She's been assessed as an entitled worker, so we have these options for her. So again, to write to her asking if she would like to join, then a join option should she choose to do so, postpone or exempt. So a useful feature in BrightPay is the option to enroll an employee, to enroll more than one employee at the same time. So you'll see here that at the time of enrolling one employee, just select the options here, you'll be given the option to enroll multiple employees with the same settings. So simply select the employees you would like to enroll, click on Enroll, and they all are now all enrolled at the same time. In the same manner, their enrolment letters can be prepared in a batch, and again these can be printed, exported to PDF or emailed. There, I'll just send these now. Okay, and they are ready to go. And again, they can be marked as done, again all at the same time. Okay. Likewise, batch processing can also be done for postponement. So again, at the time of postponing one employee, just enter a deferral date here for you. Okay, we will be given the option to postpone assessment for multiple employees. So again, simply select the employees you wish to postpone, and they are all postponed at the same time. And just as the batch processing for enrolment, it's the same with postponements. So their postponement notices again can be printed, exported to PDF or emailed all at the same time, and subsequently marked as done, like so. Okay. So once employees have been enrolled or have joined or opted in, if we return to the payroll screen here, we will then see that the pension deductions are now being applied to the employees' pay slips. If I just finalize this pay period as well for you, you will also see, if we just view a pay slip here, that the pension deductions are also shown on the employee's pay slip too. So where we offer dedicated support for a pension scheme, this means that BrightPay can produce the contribution files and, where applicable, the enrolment files for upload into the pension provider's web portal. So for example, if we were to generate NES enrolment file, simply select this option and work through the screens accordingly. A little bit of filling in to do here. Okay, click Next. And then when prompted, just save the file ready for upload into NES web portal. Okay. Likewise, to produce the contributions file after each pay period is finalized, simply click on Contributions File. Again, a little bit of filling in. Go Next. And again, save the file at the prompt ready for upload. Okay. BrightPay is also able to process opt-out requests and issue refunds where applicable. So if an opt-out notice is received for an employee, all you need to do is simply access the employee's automatic enrolment utility here and select the opt-out option. So if you enter in that opt-out reference, put a dummy one in here and press continue. Okay. So if any refund is due back to the employee, you will then see this appear on the employee's next open payslip, as you can see here. So for your own reporting requirements, the analysis function here within the software can be accessed at any time. And basically, should you wish to generate your own automatic enrolment reports, all you need to do is simply click on New Report and select the criteria you would like in your report. Just generate one for Nest here. And click OK. And your report will be displayed on screen. So multiple reports can be generated at the same time. They can be edited, they can be saved, printed and exported. Okay. So just returning to the payroll here. So if you have communications outstanding to employees, for example, if you have if you have enrolled an employee but you've not yet given them their enrollment letter, BrightPay will continue to remind you that these letters are outstanding. However, if you are with a pension provider who are taking care of the communications for you, then obviously you will not necessarily need to see these reminders. So what you can do in the pensions utility, you will find the option here to switch off these reminders. Okay, and save changes. Okay, so finally, once you have completed your declaration of compliance for the Pensions Regulator, the deadline being 5 months from your staging date, then a record of this can simply be entered in the dedicated field provided. Like so. Okay, so that completes the demo of BrightPay. I will now pass you back to Paul. Oh, sorry, to Karen. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask away, and we'll do our best to answer them at the end.
Okay, just to finish up, BrightPay has been accredited by the Institute of Certified Bookkeepers. We will also send you a copy of the accreditation report, so you can just have a look through it to see how BrightPay has been assessed. Here's just a few quotes from some of our customers. So in simple terms, it just works. These are also some quotes from the accreditation report. So the language used is easy to understand and minimises the use of payroll jargon. As a payroll professional, the product gives me everything I need to ensure that a company's payroll is run compliantly. The BrightPay interface is superb and makes data capture painless. Just to let you know, we are also offering a 25% discount to ICB members. This is for new customers and it's for the first year subscription. It's also possible if you wanted a one-to-one demo. Again, we'll send on this PowerPoint presentation to everybody along with this relevant link. So if you did want a demo or if you wanted to show it to any of your other colleagues, the demo takes around 10 or 15 minutes. It's all done through just an online webinar, so it doesn't take too much time out of your day. And I suppose it gives you an opportunity to ask any questions. Don't forget to follow us on BrightPay, BrightPay on Twitter for any future auto enrolment webinars that we'll be running. There's also some useful links and resources where we've gotten all of our information for today's webinar, just includes any helpful information for you. So we'll now take some Q&A, and I'll just prepare it here now. Okay. I think Vicky and Paul are going to take the questions, so I'm going to ask them. Okay. Okay. So the first question here. So how long do you think it would take to prepare a client for auto enrolment? Paul, maybe if you want to take that one.
Okay. Well, if you have the correct software in place, presumably you have to register with a pension scheme provider first. That would take, I reckon, with Nest, with a small enough employer, say up to 10 employees or whatever. Well, actually, to be honest with you, the registration with Nest, it doesn't really make any difference how many employees you have. It should really only take half an hour, and when you get used to it, maybe 20 minutes, quarter of an hour. And then, as Vicky just showed you on BrightPay, actually enrolling them, the actual staging date is probably the most time-consuming part of it. Minutes, I mean, for a company maybe with 10 to 15 employees, say. So all in all, I think you should have the whole thing done in an hour. So I know that doesn't tally with all the doomsday merchants out there who say you need to do loads of things 12 months beforehand, but I reckon that's more than possible.
Okay. I currently use Sage. How easy is it to export mid-year figures, employee data, and import into BrightPay? Vicky, do you want to?
Yeah, I just covered it briefly there, just in the demo there, but there is an import facility for you to bring across employee details and mid-year totals using CSV file format. So if your existing software supports the export of such information, then BrightPay can easily bring that into the software. Yeah.
Okay, thanks Vicky. Does BrightPay have CIS functionality? Paul?
Well, it's not integrated in the BrightPay software, but we do have a companion product called CIS Assistant, which is being provided free of charge to BrightPay customers.
Okay. Does auto enrolment cost extra with BrightPay? Maybe Paul, do you want to take that one again? Sorry.
No. The simple answer is no.
No, okay, great. I currently use MoneySoft and they don't do EYU. Does BrightPay? Vicky?
Yeah, we do indeed. Yeah, we're getting the calls on them now that the 19th of April has passed, but yes, we facilitate EYUs.
Okay. How much is support?
It's included in the price.
Okay. Can BrightPay handle shared parental leave?
Yes, yeah, we have both options, shared parental leave for birth and adoption built into the 1516 software.
Okay. Is BrightPay available on the Mac?
We've been doing a lot of work on that in the last year and a half, and we do have a beta version that's in release at the moment. It's full release. I mean, it doesn't actually have auto enrollment built into it at the moment, but that's something that's being worked on, and hopefully we'll have a full release in the next few months. But yes, it is, and the files that are created by both the Mac and the Windows version are interchangeable. So if you have clients using a Mac, the BrightPay version, Mac version of BrightPay, you'll be able to accept their files into your Windows version.
Okay. Can you set up AE in advance of staging?
Yes, you can. Basically, that would involve registering with the pension scheme and simply putting in the staging date into BrightPay, and that's effectively all you need to do. Now, I don't know whether the question there means to actually auto-enroll itself in advance of the staging date, and I believe there are situations that you can apply to the Pensions Regulator for permission to enroll earlier.
Okay. So lots of questions coming through, so thanks for all the questions. Are other pension providers being added to the standard list?
Yes, we are taking on other requests as they come in. There's also a project in place called PAPTIS, which it's not complete yet, but hopefully it will cover a lot of the other pension providers that will be required to be added in due course.
Okay.
Just see what there's a software.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, yeah, there's loads of questions coming through, so we'll get through as many as we can. So does BrightPay deal with all statutory payments?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, we cover maternity, paternity, additional paternity for babies born or placed for adoption before the 5th of April, shared parental pay and statutory sick pay. Yes, we cover those.
Okay, one last question, or one other question there. What are the costs of BrightPay? What's the cost? So what's the cost? I think that's what's the cost of BrightPay.
Well, for the Bureau version, it's £199 plus VAT per annum.
Okay. What sort of fees would you suggest we should be charging for the setup and for the ongoing auto-enrolment work?
It's a difficult one to answer. I can only sort of tell you what I know. One particular customer suggested that they were doing, and it was for an employer with, I think it had 15 employees, and they were charging them £400 for the staging, and then for the ongoing monitoring responsibilities, they were increasing their price per pay slip, I think from £1 to £1.50. But I've heard other variations. I've heard that, an extra few £100 a month or whatever to cover the ongoing responsibilities would be more than acceptable.
Okay. If employees opt out, do employers still have to pay towards a pension scheme for them?
No.
No. Will BrightPay deal with salary sacrifice?
Yes.
Yes. Is BrightPay CIS compliant?
Well, it doesn't actually have CIS integrated into it. I say we do have a separate product to handle that, which is provided free of charge to BrightPay customers. We haven't really seen the need to have it integrated because there are no figures that are interchangeable between the two different types of tax. In the EPS, within BrightPay, it's simply CIS suffered by the employer, that is entered in that screen, which wouldn't be the same as the CAS deductions that they make from subcontractors. So, as I say, we're not fully sure about the need for a fully integrated system, but we are looking into it.
Okay, when does the communication need to be sent for a new employee?
Communication, a new employee, oh sorry, a new employee joining and that they need to be enrolled. Communications within 6 weeks of their date of assessment, which would be their start date. Yeah, so the 6 weeks from the start date would be the window in which the communication needs to be sent.
Okay. Are employees obliged to pay the first month before they opt out, and then can the deduction be refunded?
Good question. Are they obliged to pay the first month? If they opt out before the payroll is processed for the first month, that's fine. So they don't actually have to pay anything.
Yeah, I suppose if they're enrolled and they opt out before you've processed that first payroll period, then...
So there's no deduction or refund
exactly.
in that case, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The single company version.
Does the single company version have a full implementation?
Yes, it has full functionality, yeah.
Full auto enrollment functionality. Okay. Okay, guys, I think we're going to leave it there. As I said, we'll send through a list of all of the questions along with the relevant answers to everybody, and we'll also send a copy of the PowerPoint presentation. And we have recorded this morning's webinar, so it'll also be available for you to have a look at a later date. So thanks very much for joining us from everybody at BrightPay. So thanks, Paul. Thanks, Vicky.
Thank you.
So thanks, everybody. Have a good day.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.